This is Master Your Mindset with Coach Mark.
Hey guys, what is going on? My people, welcome back to another episode of Master Your Mindset with Coach Mark. I almost forgot the name of my podcast. Hey guys, all right, I am super pumped up for today because we're really going to talk about losing touch with your family and how we can turn that around. Really what I'm going to teach you is how you can continue to show up and create that amazing connection with your family without having to give up results in your business or in your career. So if you've ever felt this way, which I'm going to describe 3 different situations that this podcast is for you. So if you've ever felt like you're performing at work, but it's at the cost of your family, this podcast is for you. If you feel like you're actually spending time with your family, but you're just not as connected, and for some reason you're kind of pushing it off in terms of the outside circumstances, that's what's causing you to lose that connection. Well, this episode is for you. And if you want to make sure you're getting the most out of the time that you do have with your family, then this episode is for you. Sorry about that. The reason why I want to bring this up is because what most people do is they blame the outside. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. They're talking about it's because of work. It's because of finances. It's because you got to put a roof over somebody's head, right? I remember hearing that come out of my mouth quite a few times. It's because of the economy. It's because of the business. It's because of your family. And they never really take responsibility. And here's the thing. When you get to the point where you actually want to make a change in your life, the first thing you have to do is take responsibility for where you are. Not in a way where it's shaming yourself, but in a way that okay, this is where I'm at. What do I do to take that next step? What do I do to step up and just become the kind of person that I want to become, right? But when we lead down this path, what really happens is we really are losing touch with our family, and it has nothing to do with those outside circumstances. Now, there's many different ways that I teach inside of all of our programs to really be able to create a connection through the use of powerful questions. But one of those ways I want to share with you guys today, and that's really breaking it down into 3 very simple, easy steps, and then finding the questions within there that will help you create this not only amazing connection, but also be able to live the kind of life that you do make the impact that you do that you want to in your business or in your life, but also do the same thing at home, because one should not be at the cost of the other. I mean, you can decide that's going to be the case, but there's another option out there. I know a lot of you guys don't want that option, so I'm going to share the other option with you guys here today, all right? So there's really 3 steps that I want to talk about, okay? First, it starts off with identifying what success would look like for you. So when we say we want to connect better with our family, a lot of people have those goals, but they don't really know what that would look like. And I like to really get in deep and say, paint me a picture. What are you saying would be success for you? Now, I want to caution you and say, make sure success does not mean that the other person has to respond a certain way. Take them out of the equation. What would success look like to you? What most people do is they want to improve something, but they never know what success would look like. They say they want to lose some weight, but they never know what that actually would look like. And so they can't, because they don't know what it looks like, they can't reverse engineer it into the daily actions that it would take. So if you were to say, hey, I want to get more connected with my family, how would you know how to do that? You would have no idea how to reverse engineer that into the daily steps, and you wouldn't be able to track anything like that, right? But when you're able to identify actually what success would look like for you, then you can go out and you can reverse engineer it. So I want you to paint a picture in your mind. When you think of this connection that you want to have at home with your family, what does it look like? Paint a picture, okay? Paint a picture. How many hours are you going to be spending? How many days are you going to be spending with them per week? Are you going to do things individually? Are you going to do things as a family? Here's one little tip that has really been working for me. So we have family days, which is usually on the weekends, where we go out and we will do something away from home, being disconnected. Because when you're in a different environment, that's where I've made the most memories, is when you're not just hanging around home. But what I also do is I find different days throughout the week to take a walk with somebody individually in my family, so I can actually have that one-on-one connection, so it's not just all of us together. And then what Teresa and I do is once a month we have a date day with one of our kids. So I will go with my son, and she will go out with my daughter for about 3 to 4 hours on the 3rd Friday of every month. And then the next month we switch. And so we do it it's just a different way of making that connection. But that's what success looks like to me. It looks like we're all together as a family in different places, having great time, great talks, and communicating without having being connected to video games and screens. And at the same time, it means one-on-one connection, that time where it doesn't have to be 37 hours a week. It could even be a 30-minute block. And in that period of time, we just have really, really great conversations, and we are asking really great questions like the questions that I teach my team. So that is the first piece, is what would success in this connection area of your life look like? Now, the second is you have to identify what your family wants to do. Identify what your family wants to do. What most people do is they want to have this connection. So what they do is they decide that they're going to make the decision on what they're going to do. And I want to caution you on that, because what that does is you're kind of forcing people to do something you want to do, and you're not going to have that connection. The way you connect with people is you connect on their level with what they enjoy doing, with what they have fun, with the things that like really fuel them. If I had gone into my daughter and said, hey, let's read books and let's read a personal development book, that's not the way that I'm going to get on her level. If I want to read books, I will read her, I don't know what that dragon book is that she has, but it's like got 47 different versions of the book. But like, she loves that. And when I get in there and I ask her questions about that book and we really dive into that, or we're playing like some kind of game, like yesterday, we got one of those little rock pieces of rock that you can get at Target or whatever, and you can chisel away. You can find like stones and stuff in there. That's what she likes to do. So if I want to connect with her, I want to do something she wants to do, because my goal is not to perform the activity and me necessarily have fun. My goal is to actually connect with her. And as a result, I don't care what it is that I'm doing, because I have a great time, all right? So then I would ask them questions. This is how I was able to figure this out. It's like, hey, when you have the most fun with daddy, what is it that we're doing in that process? What is it that I'm saying? What are some of the things that maybe I'm asking you that makes it feel like it's a really fun time for you? And every single one of my family members is a little bit different. And then I do that thing. And that's how you really are able to create that connection, because I'm meeting them there. And what's funny is when you do that, then they want to meet you sometimes where you're at, all right? But that's not the goal. The goal is to just meet them and to connect with them, all right? So the second piece is we identify what they want to do, all right? The third piece is we ask powerful questions to make it happen, all right? We ask powerful questions to make it happen. So up until this point, I was just sharing some things that you can do to create that amazing connection at home. But now you've got to ask yourself a very powerful question, and that is like, how to create the time and the energy and the space to actually make this happen. Now, I talked to you guys a few minutes ago that it doesn't take 72 hours and 42 different places on your schedule in order to make this happen. It doesn't. It's in those short periods of time. It's in the 20% activities that you're doing that actually make the big difference in your life, right? It's just like the Pareto principle. 20% of the actions that you take produce 80% of the connection that you have with your family. It doesn't have to be a 24/7 thing. It could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and that's all that it takes. Maybe that's all you have, but if you really are specific with that and you're not just watching random TV, you're actually having great conversations, it's a game changer. But you have to ask yourself powerful questions to make that happen, all right? Now, what most people do is they say, okay, I'm going to do all of these great things I just found in step number 1 and step number 2, but then they never make time for it. It never gets put down on their schedule. Like if your business, if your career is important to you, my guess is you have a schedule, right? And it's written in what you're doing. Well, where is your family on that schedule? Where is the connection time on that schedule? Where is your husband or your wife or your kids? Where are they on your schedule? If they're as important as work, which I know for all of you guys that's the case, they need to go somewhere on your schedule, all right? And when you don't put them on your schedule and think that it's going to happen, let me ask you, how many times do things not happen? Because if it's not on there, it's never going to happen. And so I want to ask you, how is it that you can make the time to create this incredible connection while still showing up on your A game at work? Now, I want you to think about this. Those days that you unplug a little bit, those days that you feel connected with your family, those days that you take care of yourself, those days where you don't have anything planned and you just really just like pour into your own cup, how does that get you to show up on the next day for your business? For me, it gets me to show up on my A game. Nothing can stop me. I'm literally unstoppable. But when I run myself into the ground and I don't have time for those other areas, they're called your core values for a reason. If you are not plugging into your core values, and family is a part of that core value of mine, then the rest of them suffer. And so you've got to realize that is when you do make this time, it actually makes you better in these other areas. And by doing that, you're going to be able to show up as the best version of you. So here are some questions that I want you to ask, all right? How might you make the time to do this with your family without losing out on any results in your business? How about this one? How could I use the time with my family as an opportunity for my business? How do you like that one? How could I use this time with family as an opportunity for my business? One of the things that I talk a lot about on social media is my family. And so I actually have, whenever I have like a moment where I get to spend with them, I take a picture, I share it, because that is what I stand for. I want people who see me, who listen to this podcast, to also stand for family, and your family is not put on the back burner so that you can excel in a different area. No, you can have them all. You can have all of those things if you can ask yourself powerful questions. So what if this opportunity that you have with your family, I'm not saying like you should record it 24/7 and put it up there and just, be that kind of person. But at the same time, what if this was actually a great opportunity for you to create stuff in your business from you being able to spend more time with your family? And then what kind of impact will this have on your business when you do it? What kind of impact will this have on your business when you do it? When we get into our heart voice, we ask a powerful question like that, it gives us the push to do the uncomfortable things, to put it on our schedule, to make sure that when somebody tries to come on the outside and break up that time, you say, no, sorry, my daughter already knows that we're having a date night on this night. It's game over. There's no question whether or not I'm going to do it. That helps you not only build a bunch of confidence, but it helps show your family, your kids, that they too, when they get older, they can have amazing connections with their family and be an incredible business owner or be incredible when it comes to their career. They don't have to sacrifice anything, just like you didn't sacrifice, all right? And you can do that through your own actions, okay? So let's recap. Number 1 is identify what success would look like to you, all right? Number 2 is find out what they want to do, not what you want to do. And number 3 is find a way to excel at it all by asking yourself powerful questions. And of course, the best way to find out powerful questions is to connect with people who also have that same desire to grow, to be better, to continue to connect with their family, and who have businesses that they want to thrive in. Because when you're in that environment, it'll get you to show up with those same level of expectations that everybody else has in the group, all right? And of course, if I can help you with that, if you're a business owner, if you're looking to get certified as a life coach, reach out to me, or you can go to mindsetwithmark.com/discovery. There's a form there that you can fill out so I can really help you get started. But I want to end this with a quote. We always end our Monday shows with a quote. This one is really, really powerful. It says, through their actions, parents model the behavior for their children so that they too can excel at work while still creating the legendary connection they want to at home. Let me read that again. Through their actions, parents model to their children that they too can excel at work while still creating the legendary connections they want to at home. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being the leaders, for being the parents, for being the people out there who are shining the light, showing everybody else that it's possible. It may not be easy all the time. As a matter of fact, it's not easy all the time. But those are the greatest opportunity when it is difficult for us to lean in and prove that we've got what it takes. I know you've got what it takes. Thank you for listening to the end of another podcast. I greatly appreciate you for that. And I will see you guys on Thursday. All right, bye everybody.